for me to show you that I like you.
To not feel like I'm inferior.
I have never thought that of you, ever.
Are you bipolar?
Are you projecting?
Say I'm confused is an understatement. Because given how the episode started to how it ended with Zay and Cole, I am so confused. And it's more or less like a Natalie and Shane scenario whereby 1 minute they were in love and then the next minute we were told that they had this massive blowout and this is why they decided not to say yes on decision day. And for me, it makes you question whether Cole and Zay were forced to be engaged. And so they were looking for an excuse to separate them because they knew that they both would never say yes to each other at the altar. I don't know. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie again. Um, in this episode, I'm going to be reviewing Love is Blind, Season 3, Episode 9. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. Um, Cole and Zay really I've got whiplash because I don't even know what I've just seen. 1 minute they were so in love, and I was like, "Oh my God, they're going to say yes on decision day," and then the next minute they were falling apart, and I don't understand. For the life of me, I can't understand what went wrong. I I think there's a lot more that we were not shown. Because when they were at the dance class, they seemed so in love, they seemed to be getting along, they seemed to really care about one another, and they were doing very well. And even they themselves were saying, "Oh, we're doing a lot better than we've done. And the past couple of weeks have been amazing for us. So we're doing great." And then suddenly, Cole, I thought it was a good gesture for him to cook for Zay. And I don't understand how Zay suddenly, I know she likes to be in control of things. And I think people have to sort of get to an understanding that being independent and being controlling are two different things. I don't think being controlling and being independent are the same thing. And people try to hide being controlling on the guise of, oh, they're independent, they're used to doing things themselves. No, it's plain controlling because I don't understand why she made such a big deal about it. He got her flowers, he was cooking, dinner for her. All she needed to do was just sit down. She started off by the wine. Oh, can you pour me with a wine glass with a stem? And then from there, things just went up. We just went sideways. Because Cole, I think, was annoyed because he said, "Oh, I've learned so much about wine. I never knew so much." And it's just like, just say thank you, sit down and have your wine. If you don't want to say anything to him, just take a different glass, change it for yourself, and that's it. And keep your comment to yourself. Try and appreciate him for what he's doing. Because Cole for me had grown on me. From where he started when he was saying I don't do nurses to suddenly, he's this loving and caring fiance. Um, and so I don't get how I could see things boiling over and it became uncomfortable the more they were speaking. But I personally think there's more to that conversation than was shown. And to the extent that Cole asked, say, are you bipolar? That doesn't make sense to me. Yes, I know she can be controlling. Yes, I know she is a bit I don't think she's stern or anything. I think she's just somebody who's controlling, who's used to doing everything herself and wants things done a certain way. And so I don't think he needed to call her bipolar. He knows she's someone who's serious. She does have a sense of humor just like everybody else, but there are times that she can be a bit too strict. So I think he should have found a better way to express himself. And I don't know if they'll say yes. And I don't even think she'll come back after because she just said I want to leave and she just walked out. And surprisingly, I think it was staged because the producers didn't do it. Normally, you'd see the producers running after her to sort of say, what's going on? Let's talk. Let's do this. It didn't seem like anybody followed her out, but maybe they followed her in the next episode. We'll see how that goes. And then Colleen and Matt. Colin and Matt. So Colin and Matt, they are the ones that I thought were a pretend couple from the jump because I thought Colin was just playing for the cameras, and it seems she is playing for the cameras as well. And it seems now everybody's being shown as having issues. So Colin and Matt met with Colin's parents. You could tell, I think, Colin must have said something to her parents about the incident when Cole packed his bags or something, because you could see they were a bit tense. Even the conversation that they were having, you could see that as much as Matt was trying to sort of come across as this likable guy and being very happy and smiley, you could tell that the parents were very nervous about it. And I think this is why they must have had a conversation with Colleen afterwards and because Colin just suddenly said, I don't see myself saying yes. And it's like, You knew you were never going to say yes to him. You wanted to be on the show. You knew the only way to be on the show was to be engaged to somebody. And when your two choices said no, you went for the third option so that you could stay on the show. And he himself, I don't know what he saw in Colleen that made him propose, or maybe he was just someone who was love struck and so decided to go with it. And because of his own baggage that he came with, this is why they are where they are. I can see them falling out. I don't see them saying yes on decision day. Colleen has already said, she's not going to be a yes. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Um, and then Nancy and Baptiste, they actually shocked me. They got those eternity bracelets, and I was like, really? I don't think so. I guess you can always break it off, if you don't if you don't get married. They seem to be in a happy place. They got their eternity bracelets, they were in a very good mood. Nancy is bending over backwards to make Baptiste happy for reasons best known to her. I think she could do better than Baptiste. I think even Andrew is a way better option than Baptiste. I think Baptiste is just playing it up for the cameras. He's trying to not come across as a bad guy, but I can see through him, and I think a lot of people can see through him. He's just wasting Nance's time and he's just looking for an opportunity to still be on TV until, the show ends. I don't know. We'll see how they go. I didn't really pay attention to their bet. And then Revan and SK. I really love Revan and SK. Um, I think SK has really fallen in love with Raven, and I think Raven is hopelessly in love with SK. And I know I saw a spoiler. I won't talk about it in this episode. I'll talk about it in the next episode. But I think there's more to their relationship than we actually saw. I loved their date, and I like the fact that Raven is opening up more. I you know, they seemed to be making plans and talking about the future. And SK kept saying, I love you and I want to marry you. I love you and I want to marry you. So I, I don't know. I really don't want to say much. I think I'll reserve my comments for them until next episode. And then finally, Alexa. Um, I think they are being portrayed as the boring couple just because they don't have as much drama as everybody else. And finally, the producers have managed to find some drama, and I was surprised they didn't play it on for much longer. So Brennan, Alexa, and Alexa's dad and granddad met, and they were sort of trying to sort of inform him or educate him on the Jewish people and Judaism and sort of the practices that they have. They did have a conversation because I remember Alex had said she wanted a prenup with Brennan, and they did have the conversation. It makes me anxious because they keep going on about money. Well, they're not coming out and saying money, but they keep asking him, "Will you be able to look after Alexa? Will you be able to look after Alexa?" And it's like it's a bit too much. He knows what he's taking on, and he will try his best. It's not like Alexa's not working herself. So they showed him a document and said, in Judaism, you sign this document. It's like a prenup. It's to promise that you will look after your wife and your children even after you get divorced. And it's like they haven't even got married. You're already talking about their divorce and their children. And you can see Brandon look like a deer in headlights because I think he was overwhelmed. And because the information was being imparted to him by her dad and her granddad, I think this is why he couldn't say anything. I wish they'd given him somebody else, maybe Alex's cousins or even just one of their leaders in their church, just to sort of speak to him and sort of explain what it is to be Jewish and Judaism and what the expectations are, and sort of, maybe this would have left him more open to ask questions. I know he did joke about, oh, are we having, are we having another cutting ceremony? But I think it was a bit too much, and I don't understand why we keep going on about, will you be able to look after her? Would you? And it's like, what are the expectations? Do they think he'll starve her? Do they think he won't provide a roof over her head? It's a bit too much, in my opinion. I think it's a bit too much. I think they need to just give him an opportunity to sort of show them who he is and what he's capable of before they keep going on. I like their date. It's surprising they're the only date that had a flashback. It was nice to see them riding on their bike and stuff, but I don't know. We'll see. I can see them getting married, and I can see them having a successful marriage like some of the previous couples from season one. But I don't know. I think this. prenup. I don't know how Brennan's parents and family are going to react to hearing sort of this conversation about the prenup and hearing what the expectations are for Brennan in order for him to get married to Alexa. And I don't know, we'll see how that goes. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.